Hey guys, Miss Donna here, and today we're going to start a series that's called Three Simple Rules. And this is based on a man whose name is John Wesley. And at our church, when you get into like the sixth, seventh, eighth grade, you're going to go through what's called confirmation. And that's when you're going to learn all about the church and all about the Bible, and you'll get to become a full member of our church. And one of the people you're going to hear about a lot during confirmation is John Wesley. So I thought I would give you a little heads up on confirmation by telling you a little bit about him today. And he was actually born in England way back in 1703. So this was a long time ago. And he was a guy who he really loved God a lot, and he really had this burning fire inside of him to want to follow God and to live like God would want him to live. And when he and his brother Charles were in college, they were part of an organization. It was kind of like these clubs, sort of like our Sunday school classes or our connection groups nowadays. And they would get together, they would read the Bible, they would pray together, they would help each other to live a life that they thought would, be pleasing to God. And so Wesley, when he was in this, wrote these three simple rules. And here are the rules. The first one is do no harm. The second one is do good. And the third one is stay in love with God. So let's say those together. We have do no harm, do good, and stay in love with God. And he posted, these rules. And even though he was a priest in the Church of England, the movement he started came to America later on, and the United Methodist Church is one of the churches that grew out of John Wesley's influence here in America. So today we're going to talk about doing no harm to God's children. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't have best friends or, that we can't express our feelings in front of other people. But it does mean that we need to think carefully about what we say and about what we do. I've been talking for a while now and I'm getting kind of hungry. So do y'all mind if I have just a little snack? I brought a banana with me, so let me just get this banana peeled and okay. Mm, that's good. Oh, you know what? I probably shouldn't be doing this in front of you. I think it's kind of rude. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have started eating that banana. Well, here, let me close it back up. We'll just pretend this never happened. So let me put this back in here and let's just close it back up and we'll just pretend this never happened. And I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but this banana's not really wanting to close up very well. Because you know what? Once you open a banana, you can't ever put it back together again. And that's a lot like saying mean or insulting words to others. Once you've said them, you can't take them back. You can say, I'm sorry. You can say backsies or whatever it is that you say in your family, but you really can't take them back because once you've said something, the harm has been done and you've hurt another person. Now, if you have a Bible around, grab your Bible. If you don't, you can stop this video for a minute and go get one. But we are going to look up the book of Proverbs. And if you remember last week how we learned to look up books and verses in the Bible, you're going to go to your table of contents, which is at the very beginning of your Bible. And I'm going to tell you that Proverbs is located in the Old Testament. So look through the Old Testament until you find the book of Proverbs. And I found it right up here. I'm going to go across the column and see what page number it's located on. And then I'm going to go to that page. So let me find that page now. I'm almost there. Okay, I found Proverbs. So remember how we talked about addresses for verses always have the book that they're in, then they have the chapter, and then they have the verse. So Proverbs is the book. The chapter is going to be 15. So find the big number 15 in your Proverbs. We have to go through these pages here. Oh, I found Proverbs 15. Now we want to find the verse. And the verse is that little bitty number. And this is going to be verse number 1. So find the number 1. And here's what it says. A gentle answer turns away anger, but a harsh word stirs up anger. So think about that for a minute. That means that if you say something gentle to someone when perhaps they're angry with you, that's probably going to help take away from the anger. Whereas if someone hurts your feelings or says something angry to you and you respond to them in anger, then that's probably just going to make the situation even worse. So let's talk about just a couple of examples of situations that you might very likely find yourself in. And I want you to think if there's a good way you can respond to these kinds of situations. So first of all, let's pretend that your mom or dad is cleaning up and asks you to help pick up your little brother's toys that are in the way. Now, you could say, well, I didn't put them there, so why should I have to pick them up? But what caring words could you say in that situation? Could you say, "Oh, Mom, I'll be glad to. I know you're working really hard. He's too little to clean up after himself, so let me help you." That's one way you could respond to that situation. Or here's another situation, and this happens all the time. Someone at school has been telling stories about a kid that you don't really like. You don't really know if it's true or not, but you do know that it's gossip. So instead of saying, "Really? What else have you heard?" What kinds of caring words could you say? Think about that one. Could you say, "Hey guys, I don't really know that that's true. Let's go play on the playground instead, or let's take a chance and get to know him." Think of things you could say that would help the situation instead of hurting the situation. Now, I have a little assignment for you, and for this assignment, all you're going to need is you're going to need to get a piece of paper of some kind. I'm just using an envelope here. And you're going to write your name going right down the center of the piece of paper. So if your name is James, then you'll put a James going down the center of your paper. And then what I want you to do is to take this piece of paper and go around to people in your family, or you can call people on the phone if you need to, because I know we can't see very many people right now. But ask them to give a word or a couple of words that helps describe who you are, that has one of these letters of the alphabet in it. So for instance, I'm going to start with a D. And let's say I go to Mr. Sunny and I say, "Hey, Mr. Sunny, can you think of a word that describes me that has the letter D in it?" Well, he might say that I am delightful. I hope he would say that I was delightful. So then I would take my pen, and right there by the D, I've written delightful. If I might go to the N and call my sister and say, "Can you think of a word that has the letter N in it that describes who I am?" And maybe she'll say, "Oh, you're funny." Well, then I would write the FUN and then NY. So do this with all the letters in your name. Go around and ask people. And let's see what kinds of positive words or phrases they can come up with to describe you. So for this week, I just want you to think about what you say to other people, and do the words that you say to others, do they do no harm? And then we'll meet back again next week and talk about it some more. Thanks for coming. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.